So now just so you have an idea, and very quick, the background of CYPE, we've been around for over 39 years. And we developed 150 tools, probably maybe over 170 nowadays, but they just pretty much sum up into 4 different solutions, which I will explain. And the company develops all of its software in-house. Okay, we develop all our software. We're originally from Spain, and it's a company started by structural engineers and ran by structural engineers to this day. And that's why we're so well focused with structures. We have over 100,000 customers worldwide in 65 plus countries because we apply a bunch of codes and standards. We apply the Euro codes with all of the Malaysian annexes as well as Singapore annexes. And we also have several MEP tools that apply Malaysian standards, okay? Now, pretty much those 150 tools, they sum up into 4 things, which is architectural solutions, MEP solutions, structures, and also management tools, because one of the great things is that we are able to extract quantities from BIM models, but we're also able to generate bill of quantities from 2CAD drawings as well. And we're currently working with several organizations in Malaysia to improve your current cost database. Now, the big difference that we have when it comes to other solutions is that you can say we have pretty much an entire solution, and automatically this solution is generating a BIM file. We have a CDE platform, which is completely free. All of the storage and all of the users, it's a completely free platform. For those who wish, we don't force anything because our programs, we like to say, are hybrid. They allow you to start from plans or start from a digital model. And they allow you to end in plans, or they allow you to end in a digital model as well. And this is all thanks to the workflow that the program automatically generates, which ultimately is going to generate an IFC file, and it's going to be able to communicate with other software doing the same thing. Okay. When it comes to structures, we have a complete suite of structures that is completely applied and that is completely adapted to the Malaysian market. And the great thing is that our software, our structures, it doesn't just take care of the superstructure, whether it's of reinforced concrete, steel, timber, composite, but you also are able to design foundation elements, which my colleague will show you now in a second. You're able to design all the reinforcements, the shear wall, you're able to design the rebar. We also have certain programs that are adapted for specialty things, like we have a program to generate box culverts and programs for retainage or embedded walls that are very common in civil works. Our programs of structures can also design the stair elements, ramp elements. If you have a parking, it will automatically generate an analytical model, and you can also design all of your structural connections, and you'll be able to visualize the form shape models, contour plots, contour maps, many other things for you to not just visually see what's going on with the structure, but also with reports showing codes and formulas for you to be sure of what's being done in case you need to take a pen and paper and check what the program's doing. Now, we have 2 main softwares that one of them you could say is a comparable to ETABS, and another one is a comparable to STAD. The great thing is that they have perfect interoperability between them both, so you're able to design any sort of structure. So one of our programs, which is SiteCAD, is a great program like ETABS that you are able to use this for any structure that is subject to vertical and horizontal forces. Now, based on the codes that you select in our software, the program is automatically going to optimize your rebar design based on the code you've selected, and it's going to design your entire rebar. But it's going to allow you to come back and adapt it to particular needs that you might have. When it comes to steel, we have a very powerful solution that it can actually go through the entire ecosystem of steel. It even allows you to start from portal frames and take into account the wind actions of these portal frames throughout your design, or just to freehand. It's a 3D bar element solution similar to STAD or STAD Pro. And it also includes a bunch of different connections for you to be able to design any structure made out of steel, made out of reinforced concrete or timber. But this is a great program in particular for steel. So the program, again, here does the foundation elements for you. It also does all the connections. And also you can design a structure in this software, which is similar to STAT, and then lay that structure over a project designed with this previous structure. Okay, so we could do combined structures with both software. In addition, in steel, we have the entire solution of steel, because one of the problems nowadays in a lot of buildings, even though we have a lot of many standard connections included in our basic steel solution, we have plenty of connections in there, but you end up getting to the point that there's always a new type of connection or a complex type of connection. We're also able to solve those in our modelers, and we're able to design complex steel connections and then do a finite element analysis. This is a program that we have called Site Connect, and it uses the OpenSea's analysis engine from the University of California to run the finite element analysis of this. And furthermore, if you need to do assembly of this structure, we have a program that will also allow you to do all of the structural assembly parts for the assembly of this steel building. Even you're able to generate a step file or a DSTV file, which is the more common file that is being used in CNC machines. Now, everything that I've spoken about is able to be shared into a BIM project, okay? And not just in structures, also in MEP. MEP, we have a wide range of solutions for pretty much any sort of building, stemming everything from HVAC, electrical systems, fire protection, as well as plumbing, okay? But now sometimes previous to this step, it's important, for example, for HVAC to be able to determine the energy consumption of your buildings. So we have solutions for determining energy consumption and for you to determine thermal loads as well of your installations. When you design the thermal loads, we have a program that is connected to the ASHRA Radiant Time Series for you to check the location. And then once you've determined the thermal loads of the building, you're able to do a simulation of your energy consumption, including the HVAC consumption. And this program for energy analysis uses actually the Energy Plus engine. Energy Plus engine is the engine that was designed by the US Department of Energy for you to do energy analysis. And it's really one of the best because it gives you a whole entire annual energy balance of the building previous to construction. But we also have solutions for you to improve your energy consumption. And again, if you're working with a BIM project, the great thing is that you're able to import all of those construction elements and architectural model and take it into account into your design. And now we go just a little furthermore, and that's pretty much the end of our ecosystem. We have solutions for project management as well. We obviously have solutions for you to design all your health and safety features of a building or any project that you're working on. But what I think is a bit more interesting is that we have a program called Open BIM Quantaties, and this program extracts the quantities of BIM models automatically. If there is a change in the BIM model, you're able to update it. I know probably in your market, you're very used to working with programs such as Kubicos from Gloden and this type. These modelers particularly work with a 2CAD drawing. So, you have to take into account many different rules of measurement and stuff. When you're working with BIM, you don't have that issue because every element is a separate element and you can have the program recognize the measurement itself. It does have a section for you to enter set of measurement rules, but the great thing is that when it comes to the measurement, it's not on a 2CAD drawing, even though it is possible. But when you're able to extract quantities from a BIM model, it's a lot easier, okay? Now, like I said, we offer a workflow via a website called BIM Server Center, which is completely free and completely optional. BIM Server Center, like I said, it's a CDE platform that actually we created. We've been involved in many research projects and are involved to date around the world. And this is from one of our research projects with the European community, the Horizon 2020. And we developed this common data environment. What we work with is Open BIM. Open BIM has to be fully open for when it comes to cost. It's not that people can see your work. The work is actually private. Whatever you share with your team. We would show you how to use this platform. But it's great because it works in a different way. It works with federated models. So this allows each of the models to everybody to work simultaneously. Once you have an architectural model that you've decided or that you're going to be able to, that you're going to execute, you could share that architectural model with 3 or 4 structural guys or plumbing or electrical, and they can each collaborate in giving you a design. And this allows you to pick and choose which designs you're going to use in your project. Once you have done so, you join it to your BIM model, but every time one particular person updates something in the model, everybody will be informed. And if there's any changes they would need to do, they would be automatically informed as well. Okay, so it's not something that they have to wait for one person to update everything so everybody else can work. Okay, it's a bit of a different way of working, but it's very good at optimizing your way of working. Now, the great thing is that you're not going to need to change a lot of things that you're doing now. Some things you might, because you choose to, but other things you don't. And what I mean is that you're able to import information from other modelers. What we mostly communicate with is the architectural model. We cannot import other parts of the project from these modelers like Revit or Graphisoft or Allplan. That is not the architectural model, because our software, whether it's MEP, structure, or any of the other designs that it does, you have to actually design in our software because we run an analysis. Okay, for example, in Revit, the MEP installations, it's only eye candy, it's a drawing, but there's really no analysis behind it. In all of our MEP solutions, there's an analysis based on an ISO standard. So, you know, we need to redraw this item because this is going to be the actual as-built drawing. Okay, but the great thing is that if you receive a Revit model, you are able to import, for example, all of the pipes, and you will be able to have a reference line for you to draw in our software, okay, when it comes to MEP. So just in summing up, and now we'll just open up a program. If Khalid, you can start maybe with structures. But in CYPE, we're going to be able to offer you all of our software is going to generate automatically a 3D model, whether you're in whatever part you're working with, either the MEP or the structures. We're also going to generate technical reports. You will see that all of our software, it's not a black box. You're able to view reports from contour plot maps when it comes to structures, but then you're also able to look at the checks of the codes, and it will tell you if the code has passed or if it has failed. And if it has failed, it will tell you why, so that you could analyze your design and redo it. As well, you'll see here like the summaries of our loads or different types of reports, and always the formulas are going to be there available for you. In addition to reports, we also generate drawings. We generate different drawings that can, if they're not exactly to your liking, we have a program for you to fully customize them. But a lot of times, if not, these drawings can be sent over to AutoCAD if you already have particular formats, and also be edited there. We have different multiple options, but we also have a program for you to generate full drawings if needed, okay? Lastly, our software, whether it comes to structures, MEP, or any part, it's also going to extract quantities. And you could generate a BOQ, not just for structures, but also for plumbing, for electrical, for any part of the MEP, even the architecture, for everything, or for sections. It really doesn't matter. It's quite simple to use. Now, here's a list of some of the companies that use us worldwide. In addition, in Malaysia, we have companies like YTL and a few others that maybe they can mention that are using our software. But these are some of our worldwide clients that use primarily our structural software everywhere that they work around the world. Whether they're this company, some of them could be from Spain that they originally started, but all of these are worldwide companies, and anywhere that they work, I've spoken, for example, with Ferrovial, maybe 90% of their projects are all designed with CYPE. Now, in addition of having many companies that use our software, because of our knowledge in Open BIM, we also design software. We develop software for many companies in the AEC sector. These are some of the companies that we develop software for, Fujitsu, Panasonic, etc. And in particular, what we develop for these companies is open BIM software, okay? Like I said, we're one of the main companies developing this type of software worldwide. Just so that you have an idea of the power of the software, when it comes to structures, we obviously have designed hundreds of buildings, thousands of buildings throughout the world. But this building, for example, this is about 30 minutes away from our headquarters, and this is the tallest residential building in Europe. It's at over 650 feet. And obviously, because the UK is no longer part of Europe, this becomes the tallest residential building, because obviously in the UK, there's a few more. But right now, when it comes to Europe itself, this is the tallest, and it was fully designed with CYPE, our program that is similar to ETABS, okay? So anyways, that's the part of my presentation. And I don't know if Khalid, but I just wanted to show them very quick this platform on our main website, okay? If you go into site.com, you will see that if you go into the English area, you're able to go into any of these sections that I spoke about. And in all of our programs, you're going to find a lot of learning information because what we offer licenses, we offer perpetual licenses, and we assist always in the technical support with the customer, okay? Khalid can, actually Naren will explain to you a little bit more, but we also have a lot of products that are available for the user to learn the software. And our software, when it comes to structures, is probably one of the easiest ones to use. With maybe 30 hours, you would be like very, very good already at using this software. So we'll have in all of our websites detailed information, and then we have a learning resources. And in the learning resources, we're going to have a user's manual, and we have these quick start guides, which are very useful because they're 5-minute courses for people to learn the software. But like I said, one of the great things that we like to do is technical support. We pride ourselves in it, and we assist new customers in learning to use the software, okay? And the last page that I'm going to show you is BIM Server Center. This is the platform that it has 2 uses. You can actually just download. You might need to connect to this platform only to download our software here at the store. And you'll see that in the store, if you go into this area, you have all of our different applications. Naren would explain to you about trial versions. That's not a problem. And we will be able to do that. And you'll be able to download either the entire suite of structures or just particular programs. But also, this is the platform where if you have a project that you want to share, you're able to share it here in BIM Server Center. All of our software, you will see that it has a button for you to send information to BIM Server Center. And then here is where I have my project management area, okay? So in here, in my project management area, you could see that I have many different projects that have been shared with me. And if I go into any of these files, I would have this same dashboard here. This is where I'd be able to just view all of the project laid one on top of the other, all of the files. This is where I manage my notifications. I'm just giving you an overview of this platform because it's not the point of this presentation. But obviously we could get into it at any point and show you. We have here the contribution area with all the different files in this particular project. As you could see, sometimes it could even be a thermal load file or the installations itself, okay? And the work team that is part of this project. In addition, we have here the history tab that, we all know that in construction, this is super important. I was a general contractor for over 15 years in the United States. And it's very important to keep a paper trail of anything that happens in these projects. And here, any notification that you do, or any change that you do, or any file that gets added, or anybody that you invite is all going to be automatically registered for you, okay? Now, obviously, one of the great things of this platform is that this is a cloud platform. I'm able to access this information that you're looking at from this project. from any cloud. I can access it from any browser in the net, and I would be able to here, you see I have all of my files, and I'd be able to use here virtual reality and augmented reality apps as well to visualize the project in the job site, to check for possible clashes. We also have an automatic clash detection, but you see in here, for example, in this file, we have all my structure, and in my structure, I have every single differentiate model based on every different possibility, you see? So we're sharing a lot of information here on these files. I can have, obviously, the water installation, I can have gas installation. So there's a lot of different things that can be done with this. Now, with the augmented reality app, you'd be able to go to the actual job site and turn on and off some of these different sections. And then this way you would be able to visualize if the design is good. And now in this particular platform, the great thing is that we're able to obviously see the type of design, okay? This is a BIM model, so everything that you see here is going to have also information on it, okay? Like this is an IFC wall. If I have something made out of a structural design, we would be able to also recognize these elements as well, okay? And as you can see, it's not just the structure that we have here. We have, sorry, not the architectural model. We have different files that we can turn on and off files to be able to look at the MEP installations and also get information. We could check the flow of some of this sections as well. And another great thing of this platform is that you can also turn on the shadows and activate the position of the sun based on the geographical coordinates that you've done. This is always very important when you do energy design. And since we do a lot of different energy design and simulation, we always make sure that we can check some path, because a lot of times one of the great things about BIM is that you are able to visualize the project before laying one brick in the ground, and you're able to make changes that would adapt to the needs that you're looking at. So, based on the time of the day, you would be able to see the sun's position, and you would be able to see if maybe the location of the solar panels that you've chosen are good or not. There's a lot of different options. But it's not only, like I said, documents that are for visualization. You're also able to share in here PDFs and many different files. For example, this is the same project, but in this one, I have a BOQ as well that I generated, okay? For example, I've loaded this BOQ from the modeler, and I have access to my BOQ as well in here, okay? An entire price bill of quantities. This is the way that we lay these, we do these more or less, okay? Generated from our software, okay? And just one last, sorry?
So I ask the questions?
Sure.
The model that you show, is that a design model, or that one is you already exported to the BIM model?
Well, this is a model that we designed in one of our programs called CYPE Architecture, okay? And once that the program was designed with CYPE Architecture, we have in all of our program a certain button for you to be able to share that information into the cloud, okay? So this building, we did the design of the architecture using CYPE Architecture, which is this program here. And then what we did is that information, we shared it to the cloud. And that was a starting point for us to design the rest of the project.
You mean that you put in the cloud for the next modeling, such as structure and also including the MEP inside? You mean that is a base?
Correct.
Base building.
The base is the architecture, or you could start from the base. You could start from the site, site location, and then from there move on to the next step. But normally the first step is the architectural BIM model. And then what I do here, for example, you'll see in all my contributions, I had 2 architectural models. Okay, this one is not locked. The one I ended up choosing was this one. Okay. I also had a couple of designs that were presented to me when it comes to structures. And what you do is you can invite people to this project, okay? And they will share files with you. And when you select the file, you lock that file in place, okay? So in here afterwards, you can delete the ones you don't choose. But the ones that you do choose are all going to be here available for you to visualize. And now whoever's managing each of these models is in charge of any modifications. So let me give you an example, okay? Let's say that right now I have visually inspected a problem with the fire protection model, okay? And I tell my guy that's doing fire protection that the sprinklers, for example, are offset. Okay, now this allows me to choose who should I ask to do the change? Should I ask the guy to change the building, the architect? No, obviously that's not going to be a good solution. Is it better to, maybe if it's clashing with a plumbing pipe, I can ask one or the other. But here in this case, I'm going to have the fire extinguishing installations move, okay? And I'm going to tell it, for example, center in all hallways, the sprinkler, okay? And now I'm able to drag and drop an image, or I'm able to browse in here. And normally you would just take a snapshot of whatever the problem is. And then from there, you just enter, for example, you know, I'm just putting here a random image that I might have, okay? And I just tell them, okay, this is the problem. And now automatically, the person that has this issue is going to get informed, okay? So you see this operation is right now being carried out. I've done, you see many examples over here, and these examples are all pending issues. But now this will be automatically created now by the program, and the correct person is going to be informed. You see, I have here the problem, the issue that I created, and the person that requested is myself. Since I own all the files here, this is an example project, this is being sent directly to me, okay? So now in my notifications tab, I will have a notification of a problem with this, okay? And I would get automatically informed. And you will see here in the history, this new issue that was created 3 minutes ago is here. Once that the issue is taken care of by the person that needs to resolve it, it would be as simple as coming in here and just they will click that the issue has been resolved, and I would be automatically informed. They could also add an image, etc. Okay. Now you see here we have another area that says requirements. Requirements are automatically done by the software, and issues can also be done automatically by the software via our clash detector software, okay? So you say one of these issues that once it's done, I can mark as the issue solved, accepted, and that's it, okay? And now you'll see that I have a list of issues that are solved and a list of issues that are pending, okay? Now, via our Open BIM model checker, all of these issues can be made automatically, a lot of them. And now requirements is different because requirements, since our programs design as well, you're able to design water, plumbing parts and different things like this. Now, not just plumbing, but also electrical outlets. It will automatically recognize if you've placed let's say a toilet or a sink or a bidet, it's gonna recognize the water consumption, and it's gonna recognize that it needs a connection to a pipe, okay? So these requirements are generated automatically by the program, okay? So that's the great thing. As you see, if I go into the part that says solved, now I see that here it's in the solved part, in the solved category, okay? But like I said, this is everything that I've shared in a cloud. I'm able to visualize this in a cloud, but now my design itself, it's loose programs. I'm going to have either an entire suite that is available for me to use, or I'm going to have a loose software for different parts. For example, the one that I use for doing quantities, or I'm going to have a suite of this type, or I'm going to have loose programs like what you see here, okay? Now, the information I generate in this programs, it gets to a point that I'm able to share it into the cloud. And this is the way that the information is available in BIM Server Center.